Welcome back. In this session, we'll talk about truly and falsely values. We talked about type conversion and correlation to numbers and to strings, but didn't mention of booleans yet, right? That's because we need to learn a concept of truly and falsely value first. So falsely values are the values that are not exactly false, but will become false when we try to convert them into a boolean. In JavaScript, there are 5 falsely values. Let me write it down. The 5 falsely values are. So first is going to be the 0, and then it will be the empty string, okay, and then it will be undefined, okay, and then it will be null, and it's nan, okay, not a number. Okay, these are the 5 types, and other values other than these 5 types, remaining everything will be the truly values. So values that convert into truly, for example, any number that is non-zero or any string that is not an empty string will be converted into true when we attempt to convert them into a boolean. So let me write an example. So let's go ahead and write a code here. Let's write console.log, and then here we'll write boolean, okay, and here we'll write value 0. I'll explain you this in a bit. Before that, let me copy this and paste it. Okay, here we'll write undefined, okay, here we'll write some string, some name, max for suppose. Here we'll write the curly braces, and then here we'll write the empty string. So let's go ahead and save it, and then see, here we got the answers. See, here boolean value is 0. So here if it is 0, it gets falsy, so it shows false here. So and also here we have given undefined, so it shows falsy, and so we got false. Here we are giving out some string, so it is not mentioned here, so it is showing true. Here we have given curly braces, right? So this one is called, let me just say, empty object, so it will be true. It's not an empty, right? See, this one is the empty value, so it is getting false. So you get a clarity of these 5 types, right? So null also, if you give null, it will just go for false. Even though if you give nan, it will go for false. So the true values are only string and this kind of formats. Other than these 5, every other thing, number, everything goes into true value. But what exactly does JavaScript do? Type corrosion to booleans. It happens in 2 scenarios. First, when using logical operators, and second, in a logical context. Example, if else statements, like we discussed in the logical operator in the previous video. So let me just go ahead and show it. So for example, we are taking a constant, and then we are writing here money, okay. We won't declare any value here first initially. So then we'll write if statement, if money, and then we'll write in the curly braces console.log, and then we'll write the text here, don't spend it all, okay. For example, we are writing this text, okay, and then in else statement we are going to write console.log, okay, and here we are writing one more statement, you should get a job, okay. So what do you think, which statement is going to get executed here? So can anybody guess it? So we haven't declared anything here. So money, we haven't given any value, so it is giving a syntax error, missing initialization in context, right? So we'll assign value money equals to 0, for example. Okay, let's save it, and then let's reload. See, money is 0, So money value here is 0. If statement money is 0, this line of output should get executed, don't spend it all. But here we are getting a statement else you should get a job. Why we are getting here money equal to 0? When 0 value is called out here, as you can see, we discussed 0 is a falsy statement, so we are calling 0 here. So 0 gets false here. So if box doesn't get executed, it goes to the else statement and gives us the output. So else is printed out here. Okay, for suppose let's say we have given some value like 100, not an 0. Then you can see money equals to 100. So here money value will be 100 and it gets executed, don't spend it all. You get a clarity, right? So you just go ahead and try it out. So in another case, we use this truly and falsely values to check variable is defined or not. And it might seems weird, but later in this course, we learn a lot more of it. So let's write an example, one more example. Let height equals to, first we don't declare any height, call out the if statement, if height, okay, and then we'll write a statement console.log, and we'll write here one statement u or height is defined. Okay, in else statement console.log, here we will write height is undefined. Okay, so guess which statement it is going to get executed here. So height is undefined. Why here we are getting height is undefined in this let? So as you can see, we haven't defined any value for height here. So when it is undefined, when there is no value assigned to it, it automatically gets falsy. So our if statement is undefined here. So this if else doesn't get executed. So it goes to else statement and it gets executed. As you can see, even though if we set height equals to 0, you can see height is undefined. If you change any number here, okay, for suppose let's say 1, see your height is defined because your height is 1. It is not a 0, it is not empty string, it is not undefined, so it's a true value. So it gets executed the if statement here. So if you give any of these statements which were defined here in the values you're calling out, so it goes to the falsy statements, it doesn't get executed. Okay, so just go ahead and try out some examples on your own. So this is an inappropriate way. So however, we are going to fix this using the logical operator. We'll talk about that in the next section.